Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here, back with a brand new series. As you have guys guessed, this series, Naruto is going to be a 5th Hokage. The name of this series, What If Naruto Was the 5th Hokage? It's a story written by Turban16, it's an uncompleted fan fiction and I'm going to try to complete it in my own way. Yeah. So without further ado, let's begin. Oh yeah guys, if you haven't, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And yeah guys, I have already uploaded the next part of What If Naruto Was Angel. If you haven't checked that out, please check that out as well. And let's continue our story. The council room. The council room felt tense as everyone was facing a hard time ahead. Orochimaru's assault on Konoha did more damage than it should have, with that of Hiruzen Sarutobi, the Sandaime Hokage, being among the damage that was caused. We plan on continuing with our countries to counter the threat posed by Orochimaru. He will not with this injustice. Hamura mentioned, making clear his intention on the matter at hand. The one from the financing department in the Land of Fire stood as he addressed the matter. After what's happened to the village, the Land of Fire will do anything it can into getting Konoha rebuilt. But first we need to set up a considerable amount of budget and then take into account the strain on the other countries as well. Danzo in particular raised his head and showed his uncovered eye, gleaming in the sunlight. The other ninja of the room didn't sit well with that, especially the two remaining from the old days, Hamura and Koharu. They knew what he would do, and that made them nervous. There are more other important issues to be discussed here, such as who will be the next Hokage. Hiruzen was killed by Orochimaru, and thus we need another Hokage before all of this can be held. Danzo said in somewhat a fake sad tone, but the two elders could hear the sincerity of it underneath. The man had lost his greatest rival and oldest friend, and they were sure he had grieved before coming there as they did. All of the people of the room remained silent. The fire daimyo merely sat back in thought and closed his arms. My lord, we can't decide on a plan for the village when we have no leader. Besides, the destruction of Konoha was particularly due to the sand, Koharu said as she spoke to the fire daimyo. The fire daimyo sighed as he pretended to fan himself. I normally choose Jiraiya. I like him, but he never do that. Fire daimyo said in thought as he looked at the battle records once more. It was the name caught his eye and he began reading the records with closer and more critical eyes. Link break. Zeke Danzo was about to speak. Shikaku intervened, clearly seeing the schemes of the old warhawk. I nominate Kakashi Hatake. Shikaku said quickly as Danzo gave him a stone look like that was his equivalent to a clear. The others seemed impressed with the nomination as murmurs and whispers were council chambers, talking about the situation. He is well known, strong, and respected. Minato was even younger. A councilman then turned to Shikaku. Who was his teacher? The Sandaime Hokage Minato Namikaze himself, of course. Who else? Shikaku replied in a calm voice as he laid his head on the table, hook, line, and sinker. They all seemed impressed again. Ah, Kakashi. Well, who was taught by the Sandaime? Who was taught by Jiraiya? And who was taught by Sandaime himself? It would be a fine selection of the seat of Hokage, one of the council members exclaimed. The Sandaime teaching have as good as destroyed the village. Orochimaru was once Sarutobi's pupil, Danzo said heatedly as they all turned to him. Link break. Everyone turned to Danzo, who seemed to have opposed the idea, but before he could make headway, it was then that he was cut off. The Sandaime never was wrong in his teachings. Hamura bit back at Danzo as they glared at one another. The Anbo commander looked at Danzo, still fully dressed from mask to shoes. You were responsible for this, Danzo, and I would be damned if you were to become Hokage. You were the one that let Orochimaru roam free in Konoha. You and your roots were the ones that didn't stop him. You are in part to blame on Orochimaru's action, the Anbo commander said as he settled back in his chair. Unlike his previous commander who had been killed in invasion, he wasn't afraid to the old warhawk. Everyone seemed quiet at that bit of information and Danzo shifted slightly as all eyes were on him. Shikaku seemed to grin as he held his head down. Haji had a point. That's true. Your root Anbu should have stopped them. He should have intervened in Orochimaru's action, which concerned internal affairs of the Land of Fire. Do you have any explanation on this, Danzo? Shikaku asked with a hidden smirk as Danzo sat stone still. No, I had believed in the strength of our Anbu forces and chosen to deal with Orochimaru, as I didn't want him to know of my roots still being around. Danzo said convincingly, but all the clan heads, senior ninjas, and elders knew that was a lie. The fire daimyo immediately raised an eyebrow at this, but never took his eyes from the records and report he was reading. Well, now those are pretty strong allegations, and it seems we can't turn into Hokage, for it will cause such public outrage if word of your involvements or uninvolvements as it were gets out. The daimyo said as Danzo fumed and glared heatedly at Shikaku. Danzo then sat back and started scheming. To this, Shikaku smiled as he leaned back and let the progress of a new Hokage take place. Hamura and Koharu looked at each other and smiled with inwardly sighs of relief. The daimyo then set aside the records and reports he had been reading as he was done with them. He leaned forward, placing his elbows on the table and laced his hands together as a smirk appeared on his face. I think I may have an idea who is to become the next Hokage. It'll be... The daimyo started as everyone's eyes grew wider at the person he was chosen. In the middle of the Hidden Leaf village, meanwhile, achoo! Naruto sneezed as he was walking down the road. He looked around and shrugged his shoulders as he made his way to the training field for more training. Someone must be talking about me, Naruto said as he began to run down the streets in excitement for training. In that very moment, the wheels of fate began turning again, its gears shifting to start an event that will be remembered for all of the people of Konoha. Oh baby, I'm telling ya, you gotta love the leaf. The girls here are out of the charts, Jiraiya said happily as he was using his telescope to peek at women. It was then he sensed two people behind him. Still playing the buffoon, I see, Hamura said as he and Koharu had finally found Jiraiya. Jiraiya chuckled nervously as he began to put his telescope away and turned to them. Just doing some research, that's all. So, old man Hamura and Koharu-sensei, what could you two scholarly advisors want with me? Jiraiya asked in all seriousness. Don't waste our time. You should know perfectly well what this is all about. Hamura started. Come on, why the long faces? From what I heard, talks with the Sand Village went off without a hitch, Jiraiya said with a shrug. The Sand Village stated publicly that Orochimaru was the cause of all of this, and has offered their complete surrender to us. But that is not what this is about, Hamura said. Then they told him of the things they were doing to control the situation, but they came to the part Jiraiya didn't want to hear. Link break. But first, we need a strong and trustworthy leader, Koharu said as Jiraiya sighed. Look guys, I don't know why you're going through the trouble of explaining all this to me. Now if you don't mind, I've got, Jiraiya said as he pulled the telescope out back, but was cut off by Hamura. I think you'll be interested in what we're about to say, especially since it concerns you, Hamura said quickly and in a stern voice. This village needs the goddamn Hokage immediately. Hamura started as Koharu finished from his. And yesterday, at the emergency meeting with the Lord of the Land of Fire and Shinobi Council present, it was decided we chose, Koharu was saying, but Jiraiya cut off her. Oh, I don't know. It's not up my alley to become a Hokage, you know. Got a spy network and agents to run, so can't do it. Jiraiya said as quickly as he could, he never wanted to become a Hokage. It was just not his thing, you know. Don't worry, we don't want you, Hamura said as Jiraiya fell over. Okay, then who? And why come to me? Jiraiya said as he tried to think of the poor sap that wanted to become Hokage. We came to you because you are close to the one the Fire Lord has chosen to become the person that will be our Hokage. This person would like to hear this from a friendly voice rather than an Anbu summoning them to the council chambers, Koharu said as Jiraiya struck a thinking pose. Okay, who's the poor sap? I mean lucky and honorable bastard. I mean guy, Jiraiya said as two other sweat dropped at him. It's Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Hamura said as Jiraiya's eyes grew wide. His face then became stone serious at the mention of Naruto's last name. With Hamura and Koharu were shocked that Jiraiya could be this serious. Naruto? Why Naruto? Jiraiya asked seriously than he ever had in his life. He killed for that boy. True, during Naruto's early life he wasn't around, but when he came back he promised himself to be damn well sure to make up for it. He was just glad that Naruto had turned out far better than what he would or could have been had he been around. If Jiraiya was around, the thing he heard civilians say back then, well, Konoha would have been toad footprint in the dust. The Fire Lord believes the boy to be the perfect choice as Hokage, and we agree. Young Naruto has the same personality as the Shodai and Nandaime Hokages. He also has the same upbringing of Hashirama Sensei did when he was small. Our fathers used to tell us stories of that time. We believe Naruto to be perfect for the Hokage title. Kaharu said with a smile as Jiraiya watched her and Hamura closely. If they had any evil plans for Naruto, then he'd deal with them himself. Also, Naruto is almost exactly like Hiruzen was at that age. He, like Hiruzen, is also a fervent believer in the will of fire, which all Hokages were in this respect. Naruto also has an unstoppable determination and drive which strongly impacts the lives around him. Even his enemies had been affected by his empathy, as even that San Genin Tamari has said to refer to the boy's amazing charisma as a unique power that allows him to change the world's views of others. Hamura stated with a smile on his face as Jiraiya's face showed nothing but pure shock. Jiraiya was absolutely and utterly floored. He had never really seen the two elders smile just from talking about a person formation before, especially one younger than them. Hell, they used to frown or be stone-faced permanently when they talked or even spoke of Minato. Damn, Naruto could change people for the better. Even though many of the people were spoken to so far have called Naruto hyperactive, impatient, impulsive and inattentive. We have also heard that. However, when the situations call for it or when someone is in trouble, Naruto can be very serious, intelligent and will instantly try to come to their aid. There are great qualities of a Hokage. He may be young and inexperienced, but we have a plan to remedy that. Kaoru said at Jiraiya's side and nodded, knowing he would be the part of the remedy. Fine, I'll help, but on one condition, Jiraiya said as they began to talk more on the subject at hand. Link break. With Naruto a few hours later. Naruto was stripping himself bare trying to find his ramen ticket as Tenoichi sighed. Come on Naruto, you can have this on the house, but next time don't forget your ticket or the money, Tenoichi said as Naruto gave him the biggest grin he could. He gave Naruto a fresh, steaming bowl of hot miso ramen. Thanks, old man Tenoichi, you're the greatest, Naruto exclaimed happily. Don't worry about it, just make sure when you Hokage, you make ramen the official dish of Konoha, Tenoichi said as with a chuckle Naruto chuckled as well. Sure thing, everyone should know the greatest thing that is called ramen, Naruto exclaimed as he began eating. After about 5 minutes, he was about done when Jiraiya came in and sat next to Naruto. Pervisage, I don't know you liked ramen, Naruto said as he finished. Jiraiya chuckled and ruffled Naruto's hair with a smile. I do, but not as much as you. I'll in fact buy you another bowl to celebrate, Jiraiya said happily and with a laugh as Naruto was confused, but happy with another bowl of ramen. Jiraiya paid Tenoichi for Naruto's last bowl and another for both of them. Celebrate what? Said Pervisage, Naruto asked, but Jiraiya only chuckled and ruffled his hair again. That's a surprise for later, my young apprentice, Jiraiya said as Naruto shrugged and began to eat the ramen Tenoichi had placed in front of him. You're just like Kushin and Minato. When ramen is around, you don't care about anything else, Jiraiya thought as he watched Naruto eat, then begin his own bowl. Link break. Later. Come on, old pervert hermit. What's going on? Naruto yelled as Jiraiya had brought him to the Hokage tower. Jiraiya merely laughed some more as he walked in front of Naruto. As a wise sage once said, all things are revealed in time, Jiraiya said as he could barely contain his excitement. Now it was two of his students who had become Hokage. Take that, Tsunade. She said he'd never be a greater teacher when he was training Minato, but here he was. Her mouth was shut tight as Hokage's ceremony. Ha! Alright, Naruto, we're going to go inside. We're here, right? The place where your destiny is changed for the better, Jiraiya said at the door. The Anbu guard bowed to them as he and Naruto walked past him. Naruto was still confused as ever, but he couldn't tell that what was going on. But he did knew that something was going to happen. Something big. Naruto and Jiraiya walked into the council chambers only to see all the sensei, the clan heads, and all other important figures of the village, including the fire daimyo. Naruto looked around trying to remember everyone he had pissed off and half of the people he didn't even piss off from this month. Link break. He saw Asuma, Kai, Kurenai sensei. He knew Kakashi sensei was on a mission today. He saw Hiyashi, Choza, Tazunami, Tazumi, Inoichi, and Shikaku clan heads. He saw Koharu, Hamura, and Danzo, Konoha elders. He saw Anbu commander along with Ibiki and Anko. He continued to look around and saw the no one of his age group was there, which made him quickly assume that it was something very important for all these people, each of who was important to the village to be here. Link break. What is going on here? Naruto asked with a serious face. He couldn't be anything but serious around these kind of people. You were right. He can get serious in a heartbeat, Choza commented to Hamura as the older man nodded with a small smile on his face. Naruto Uzumaki, student of both Jiraiya of the Sannin and Kakashi Hatake, the one responsible for truly defeating the one-tailed Shikaku and foiling Orochimaru's plot. I, Lord of the Land of Fire, appoint you as the Godam Hokage, the daimyo said as Naruto's eyes grew wide with each word. Why me? Was the only thing Naruto could seem to ask as the daimyo chuckled. You have proven that you are strong and dependable. You've shown that will of fire Sarutobi used to talk about. The people in this room have not one bad thing to say about you. You have the charisma and strength needed to lead. I think you're perfect for this job, the fire daimyo said as everyone around except for Danzo clapped afterwards. I still don't see why me. Why not Kakashi sensei or Jiraiya sensei or even Shikamaru? Naruto said as the daimyo walked up to him and ruffled his hair. He didn't understand why he was arguing, but he knew that being Hokage was something that needed the right leader, so that he couldn't be him yet. Not yet at least, right? Each of the people you've named was considered, but in the end, you were the best choice. Also, you're young, so there are many things you can still learn. You want to learn, unlike what I've read from Shikamaru's, the daimyo said with a broad smile and much confidence. But I'm still a Genin. There's no way Naruto was cut off by Hiyashi. To appoint the Kage, the appointed Kage needs not to be ranked, Naruto-san. Chunin like Sarutobi-sama had become Hokage, so why not a Genin for that matter? It's all about discriminant, Naruto-san, Hisashi said as he gazed at Naruto with a small smile. Naruto had helped him regain his nephew and make his family closer than it had ever been. So if Naruto needed anything for his clan, they'd do it without hesitation. The others of the room looked at Hiyashi in shock, mainly because the man never gave anyone word of encouragement, even if his words were very discreet and hidden. With that being said, the fire daimyo smiled and looked towards Naruto, who remained silent with his head to the floor in thought. Will you accept this position, Naruto Uzumaki, or should we call you Hokage-sama now? The fire daimyo said with a bright smile. Naruto stood still contemplating the offer. He thought he couldn't be Hokage now. He knew for the fact there were plenty of ninja who were stronger than him right now, but he was to become Hokage, the strongest of Konoha, the ideal figure of the shinobi. But if this is what needed to protect the village and the people, then so be it. He would protect the precious people to him, just as Haku wanted him. I accept, Naruto said with his head raised and fire burning his eyes. Some of them were taken aback by the overwhelming conviction in his eyes that were promised his 110% on this job. They all smiled, even Danzo almost cracked a smile as they saw him with his determination. They saw the will of fire in his eyes. Link break. Alright then, but there are a few things you should know before you take the mentality of Hokage, the fire daimyo said as he mentioned for Jiraiya to step forward. Naruto was confused as Jiraiya got on one knee to become on eye level with Naruto. He had a sudden expression on his face and Naruto had a bad feeling about it. Naruto, there have been many times in your life where people have deceived you, lied to you. I was one of those people. We all were. But on this day and all days forth, there will be no more lies and deceit. We will give you the truth no matter how hard it is for you to handle. That I promised you. And we'll start right now, Naruto. I am your godfather, Jiraiya said as Naruto was confused and shocked at first, but more shocked than confused. I know this is all too hard to handle, but it isn't over yet. So stay strong until the end, and you'll be a greater man and person than any of us in this room, okay? Jiraiya? Jiraiya said calmly to Naruto as he nodded his head. I know you asked Sarutobi sensei who your parents were, and he told you he didn't know, but he did. The reason he didn't tell you because of the very thing you hold, the QB. He feared that you grow to hate others because of it and end up like that. He also feared you hate him, and he just couldn't bear that. So he decided we'd be able to tell you when you were a Jonin or 18 years old. Well, we break that poor decision today, Jiraiya said as Hiyashi stepped in. Jiraiya-sama, if it is not too much to ask, I'd like to be the one to tell Naruto about his father and mother. Hiyashi said as Jiraiya nodded and moved over for Hiyashi to kneel down to be leveled with Naruto. Naruto promised himself to remain quiet until everything was said. He owed that much to his grandfather figure. Even though the old man had lied to him each day, he was still the closest thing to family Naruto had back then. Naruto, I know we may not know each other well, but I knew your father and mother very well. I won't kneel here and tell you of what great people they were because that could take all night and day. So I straight up get to the point. Your father was, and your mother was, Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze, the Yondam Hokage and the red-blooded hot habanero of the hidden leaf. Hiyashi said as Naruto cried silent tears. He now knew his family didn't abandon him, but that lit a question in his mind. To which Jiraiya predicted, Naruto, the reason why your father sealed the cube inside of you is because he could never ask another to give their child if he could not give his own. He sealed the cube into you, believing you were the only one to be able to carry such burden and not hate those around you, and I know he was right. Jiraiya said as Naruto sobbed silently after hearing his father's conviction and confidence in him. Your mother was a great woman herself. In fact, I believe your personality is almost exactly like her. Aside from the confidence, potential and determination you get from your father, she was a beautiful woman overall. Although she had a quick temper, loved ramen more than her husband's life, and was a loud motor-mouthed. Hiyashi said with a chuckle as he remembered the old days. I was one of our Ganin team members, and Tonichi chef as well. We were trained under Jiraiya-sama as a Ganin, and then your father continued training under Jiraiya-sama. Your mother was trained by Tsunade-sama, another of the three legendary Sani, along with my wife Hime Hyuga and Sasuke Uchiha's mother Mikoto Uchiha. Hiyashi said as Naruto looked a bit shocked that the old man Teiichi had been trained alongside his dad. Was Teiichi as powerful as Hiyashi and his dad? Then, Naruto, you should also know that you're from two clans, the Namikaze and Uzumaki, both of which are the last of. So you'll need to have a harem to revive them. Who knows? Maybe you like it. We know it may be difficult. Hiyashi started nervously, fake nervousness, but was cut off by Jiraiya, who snorted in disbelief. Jiraiya then wrapped around his arms on Naruto's shoulder as if he was some kind of car salesman. The woman of the room growled at him as, Naruto, my dear boy, you got yourself a golden opportunity. You got to marry multiple women. Damn, boy. You'll need at least 4, but the sky's the limit on how many you can have. I'd kill to be in your shoes. But remember, Naruto, only choose for love and nothing else. Oh, and not that Sakura girl. She's just all wrong for you. A great sister or friend, but wrong for a wife. Jiraiya said as Naruto nodded his head. He loved Sakura but not like that anymore. Maybe he could give Hinata a try. She was always nice to him. Also, the Namikaze and Uzumaki clans had bloodlines, but you'll need your clan scrolls for that. Other than that, I believe we've covered everything. So Naruto, do you have anything to say? The daimyo asked as Naruto dried his tears with his sleeve. When his eyes were dried, those other gasped who sees him, as the wheel of fire burning in them were brighter than ever. They all smiled at him as he smirked back. Just one. Let's get started. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this part of, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like more other series like this as well. And yeah, guys, I'm going to be continuing other what ifs like Dragon Ball what ifs and My Hero Academia what ifs pretty much soon. And yeah, I hope you like those as well, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and comment down some ideas for the stories regarding these two animes, Dragon Ball Z and My Hero Academia. I'm going to start with these two, and hopefully we'll expand our channel to other what ifs as well. So yeah, this is Apollo Chiha, and I'm signing out. Peace.